Hello and welcome to the CT Sports Report. Here we are live at Google Hangout with my partner in crime, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Calicut. Chris, how are you doing today, sir?
Doing fantastic as always, Mr. Teague. I hope you are, my friend. First big show here from the Google Hangouts on air. Glad everybody can join us either live or if this is a little bit on delay. Glad to have you tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah, we welcome you here for us to talk just a real quick recap regarding the USA men's national team who did have a friendly the other day against Iceland. We'll run through those stats real quick. And then the main bulk of this show that will take up the whole hour or 2 hours or however long we can go. I'm sure Chris.
As long as our wives don't tell us to shut up, essentially.
Absolutely. But we'll be talking about Super Bowl prop bets. We have quite a bit. We'll talk about some things that have happened in the game and then also some things that will happen, for halftime. And also my favorite cross-sport prop bet will be mentioned tonight. So,
Okay.
Chris, without further ado, you want to go ahead and get started? Let me run down the USA men's soccer team stats real quick.
Let's do it, man. This is your expertise. So I guess this is a little special edition of football in a sense. But go ahead and knock it out and go USA.
Absolutely. Yeah, not much to talk about. I mean, basically what it comes down to is that I cannot pronounce anybody from Iceland's name, so we will not talk about their goals. But mainly what happened, U.S. does win 3-2. First goal coming from Josie Altidore with a nice forward ball from Michael Bradley. Second goal comes from Michael Orozco for us with a beautiful header to the far post from Steven Birnbaum. And then your decisive goal in the 90th minute comes from Steve Birnbaum himself with an assist from Michael Bradley. Nonetheless, they had Michael Bradley winning the man of the match for this game. I would have picked Steve Birnbaum, but nonetheless, beautiful game. Looking forward to the game tomorrow night at 10:15 Eastern, if I'm not mistaken, where we take on America's hat, Canada.
Now, just to try to put my 2 cents on it and my novice ability at the sport, I'm actually not entirely familiar with Birnbaum and Orozco. Are those two fairly new names to Klinsmann's roster there?
You'll see Michael Orozco. He will be on the U23 team that goes to the Olympic qualifying. Steve Birnbaum, I'm not quite sure myself. I mean, he's quite new to me. Just to be honest with you, I do know with these U23s, and I'm not quite sure the rules for the Olympics, but there's always a couple of people over the age of 23 that you can take with you. I'm sure Michael Bradley is going to be one of those people that we take to the Olympics with us if we qualify and get past Colombia come March. But of course, I mean, that'll be fun to see. Like I said, the U23s are so different, especially since we have the likes of Jordan Morris, and a few other people to be named later. It's not set in stone as of yet. But nonetheless, it'll be fun to watch us grow. Klinsmann, people are calling for his job and everything else. But
his head, really.
Yeah, pretty much. But between the likes of Darlington Nagbe, Giassi Zardes, and Jordan Morris, right there's 3 young players that'll be great to watch under the U23s.
Yep.
But nonetheless, again, watch the game Friday night, 10:15, as we take on Canada. And now, just me and Chris have been really excited about this show tonight. It is Super Bowl prop bet.
Sponsored by Subway.
And also 2H Brewing. Right now I'm drinking our porter, which we have named Harry Porter. Chris can make all the jokes he wants. It's a dang good beer.
And I asked him, in all seriousness, did your fiance name that? Because knowing my wife is a huge Harry Potter fan, figured his might be as well. No, he took complete ownership of that name. I was either disappointed or proud. I'm not sure which exactly.
Absolutely. Just to let you know, 2H Brewing is something me, my fiance Leslie, and my buddy Phil Howard do. It's nothing but home brews. But nonetheless, we'll probably get in trouble if anyone ever watches this about Subway. But hey, we can't be doing worse than Jared, right?
No. He can't exactly advertise anymore.
Okay. And we've officially crossed the line. All right.
Probably.
So Chris, I mean, we have plenty of things to talk about. I mean, we have in terms of prop bets concerning the halftime show, the national anthem singer was confirmed today. I don't know if you heard who it was.
I have not, so this will be news to me.
News to Chris Calicut, the national anthem will be sung by none other than Lady Gaga.
Huh?
True story.
Are they going to pre-record it and do a little auto-tune before? No?
I have no idea, but nonetheless, we will start off.
Golly.
We are going to start off with our first prop bet, Chris.
All right, I'm ready.
We have the national anthem over under 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
2:20.
2:20.
Wow, that's quick. I thought sometimes some people have even taken it over 3. So now, are you keeping track of all of our votes now? Because we got to have a contest. We have not discussed what we're going to put on the line yet, if anything. But I have a proposition. Would you like to hear my proposition, Mr. T?
I'm listening, Chris. Go ahead.
All right. So just to let people know, our little fun that we discussed on the preview show the other night, we are going to be attending the United States of America's Olympic trials for one of the most fantastic spectator sports on earth. That's right, table tennis.
Forrest Gump would be proud.
Ping pong. And now, if you've never watched it, it's actually really fun to watch. We've never done it live, so it's coming to our home city of Greensboro, so we figured, what the heck. So, with that said, if I win, Cody will reimburse me for my ticket price. If you win, I will reimburse you. Is that fair?
It sounds good to me. That's exactly what I was actually thinking before we even talked about this online, so it works out.
Perfect.
We'll go through the prop bets. Me and Chris will pick our favorite 2 or 3, and we'll do either the best 2 out of 3, or we'll either pick one to bet on at the end of the show, and whoever wins, of course, will be going ultimately for free to the United States National Championship for ping pong.
Yep.
And again, this is the qualification for the Olympics. I just want to make that clear.
No, very important stuff. Very important stuff.
Absolutely. So, Chris, not that we're going to take the national anthem, but 2:20, Lady Gaga. You know how she likes to all the time. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, what are you thinking on that? I mean, that's a tough one to start off with.
Yeah, and like you said, she likes to do the runs, whether they're technologically manufactured or not. So I'm going to take the slight over. I'm going to go like 230 or 235 on that.
All right. And that's fine. I mean, right now the odds are at -120, which basically means if you bet $100, you win 120. So it's not exactly on up there. I would actually want to go with the over on that one as well. So that one might not be one we touch. But nonetheless, that is one of the most famous prop bets of the Super Bowl.
And I honestly think the producers look at past results and try to finagle it one way or the other. You almost know they have to.
I mean, absolutely. I wish that I know somebody who knew Lady Gaga. I will say I do have a little insider from me listening to the news and stuff from a prop bet that may be happening later.
Okay.
But I digress. Another one is, of course, right now the Panthers are picked right now. I believe 6.5 is the spread.
God.
Yeah, that is your normal Vegas bet as going on right now. And, of course, I'll be more than happy to check that while we're on air. But, Chris, overall, if you were a betting man, are you taking Carolina at 6.5, being the Panthers fan that you are?
Now, if you remember from the last show, I took them 31-17, which, if my math is correct, and you're the math major of the show, that's 14 points.
Right.
Now, that has Peyton Manning throwing at least, I would say, 2 picks, and the defense scoring at least one of Carolina's touchdowns. So, I mean, that's a tough one. I mean, because my heart wants to say, sure, take it. And then you think about what we were talking about last week, and this is Peyton Manning's last game for all the intents and purposes. Golly, man, what do you want to see him ride off into the sunset, or do you want to see him, as I said, Bronco bust? Jeez. Yeah, I'm taking the points. I'm taking Carolina and the points.
All right, and I just
I'm going
checked.
straight up.
It's cool, and as of right now, I just checked. I was off by 1. The spread is still at just a point under. Is at 5.5 still for the Panthers.
That's kind of an odd spread, 5.5.
It is. But hey, this is why we're here and not at Vegas. So again, probably not taking that one. Now this one is a very interesting one. Like I said, just fun show. Chris,
there's no knowledge on this portion of the CT Sports Report. Save that for the more important show.
This is all hot takes right here. But
what you got for me?
One of my favorites that I came across my readings here is, will Left Shark make an appearance on stage during the Super Bowl halftime show? The odds are at plus 1,500, which is a pretty strong no. Yeah, but he was so popular last year. It's very possible. Chris, yes or no to Left Shark?
All right, so I'm gonna have to tell the story to get there, because obviously Katy Perry is not advertised to be on the show. But when you have Coldplay as your headliner, there's got to be some excitement somewhere, because God knows you're not going to get it from those guys. I know they added Beyonce, so I mean, I'm not exactly sure how they would lead straight into Katy Perry on that, because I don't think you would involve Left Shark without Katy Perry. So I'm going to go with no.
All right. We might actually. You know what? I'm going to jot that down. I have a notepad here. Thanks to my lovely place that employs me. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to write this down. Oh my gosh, I got to get something to write. It's how unprofessional.
All right. You want me to take the notes, brother?
Oh, you got pen and paper?
I got pen and paper.
Absolutely. I want you to mark down Left Shark.
Okay.
Makes an appearance. Put that as one of the possibilities that we bet for those tickets. Okay. All right, moving on to the more important stuff.
So did you say yes for the Shark?
I will say yes if that's the one we pick. Like I said, we're going to write them down. We'll pick what initially we end up betting at the end. Another fun one that I've been finding, and this is either pretty much a yes or a no, because the spread is only at 0.5. Since the lead singer of Coldplay is married to Gwyneth Paltrow. Don't know, don't care. But Phil Simms will mention Gwyneth Paltrow during the broadcast. Like I said, it's 0.5 over under. Chris, well, I mean, I don't know anything about entertainment business. Leslie would have to walk in the door right now and tell me if they're married or if they're together or if they've even killed each other. I have no idea.
Right. This one I don't have a lot of common knowledge on either. So for that sake, I'm going to say no, but God knows Phil Simms has been everywhere and done everything, probably with some of the most interesting people in the world. So you never know coming from him. But I'm just gonna, for the sake of not knowing anything, I'm gonna say no.
All right. And then before we get into the end game predictions, my last one involving Jim Nantz, besides him having a complete meltdown if Peyton Manning says that he's going to retire and rides off into the sunset with a Super Bowl. Between him and Phil Simms, how many times is dabbing mentioned during the Super Bowl?
Hold on. Does it have to be Phil or Jim, or can it be a sideline reporter too?
Oh, let me check.
What's the exact wording on that one?
How many? Okay, so the announcers. So it will be Phil Simms and Jim Nantz, your two announcers.
Okay.
How many times will dab or dabbing be said by the announcers? The over-under is 2. Just 2. I feel like that's low. I'm just saying.
All right, let me write this one down. I don't know.
Oh, you're liking that one. I don't know if I'm liking that one too much or not.
Well, let me write it. All right, so Jim Nantz. He has to be hip to the lingo, man.
Oh, he does.
He'll sound so 70-year-old that he is, but Jim Nantz loves to be with what the kids say. So I've got it at least going once coming from Jim Nance. At least once. So I don't know where the wild card's going to be. Are they going to do like a little storyline on it, like on the sideline, and where it originates from, and the thing that everybody has absolutely.
I love gamers.
Oh, what we got here? What's up, bud?
I love gamers.
Oh, it looks like we have someone who came in on the public side of things.
Yeah, I see that.
What's up, gamers? Well, I'm out.
All right, thanks, man.
So this is why we need to learn how to make things private.
I mean, I know how, but hey, that was hilarious. I will say.
Apparently, he thought we were gaming, and we definitely were not.
Oh man, we just got trolled. Nonetheless, we will keep moving on.
What bet? Okay, dabbing. Are you over or under 2?
I'm over.
You're over. I wish I could say push. Can I say push?
No. So that one's not going on the phone.
All right.
All right. And then on to the game itself with the many different possibilities that can happen. My first one, you being a Panthers fan, the first one I'm going to read out. 1, does Ted Ginn Jr. drop a pass?
Yes. Yes.
It's not even a question.
No, I don't even see. I mean, what's the line on that one? That has to be absolutely like lopsided.
Well, it's minus 120, so it's low, which means it's a very good possibility that happen.
Yep, absolutely.
So, I mean,
I think we're in way too much of agreement on that one. I mean,
yeah,
he might have one heck of a night and find some pine tar somewhere, but if I have my druthers, I would definitely put him dropping at least 1.
Absolutely. And then I would have to say, in terms of the next one, I think we should talk about the first touchdown. How will it be scored?
Okay.
Your choices are touchdown, field goal, safety.
Oh, just the first score in general. Okay.
Yeah, the first scoring play, because there has been, I think, 2 Super Bowls in the last 10 years that have had a safety as their first score. So what would you think there?
Oh, man. See, this will lead to where we get to in a minute, because I'm sure we'll do the coin toss at some point.
Absolutely.
But I think if the Panthers get the ball, it's a touchdown. If the Broncos get the ball, it's a field goal. I'm gonna say field goal. I'm gonna say field goal because Carolina's been on too good of a run, winning coin tosses. I don't think their luck is gonna go all the way into the Super Bowl.
Okay, we'll take it from that and move on to the next part in terms of who will score the first points of the game. And I believe this one might be something that we want to bet on, Chris. I'm gonna say the exact outcome of the first score of the game. Okay.
All right.
Your choices are Panthers touchdown, Panthers field goal, Panthers safety, and then the exact same thing for the Broncos: touchdown, field goal, safety.
Okay.
All right. I don't know what you're thinking, but I am thinking Broncos field goal for the first points of the game.
Okay. That's sort of what I just said, but since just for the rule of contradiction, I'm going to go Panthers touchdown.
Fair enough. And another prop bet, one that we're not going to place a bet on because this one's too up in the air. Boy or a girl for the Panthers, whoever they give the ball to first when they score a touchdown.
Oh, that's a good one, actually. That's a good one.
That was way too up in the air. But if you want to, write it down. We'll come to it at the end of the show.
No, I'm good.
All right, and then let's see. And you mentioned coin toss, so there's 4 different bets that can happen on the coin toss. Okay. The first one is, what's it going to be? Heads or tails? 50-50 chance, right?
Right.
And then the team that will win the coin toss. Of course, Denver gets to call the toss, so that could play into it. Will the team win? The team that wins the coin toss, will they win the game?
Mm-hmm.
Or the team that chooses heads or tails, will it be called correctly? So in this case, will Denver call it correctly?
Okay, I gotcha.
So all those are the different ones. I mean, in all the Super Bowls, tails has landed 51% of the time, and heads 49. Basically, splitting it up. Out of 49 Super Bowls, tails has been hit 25, heads has been hit 24. This is a heads year. So if I was a betting man, I'm saying heads, just because, I mean, we got to bring it even. We got to bring it 50%, 50%, right?
You know, I never, and I know it's the law of averages, whatever. I always call tails. I'm superstitious like that. Everybody wants to call heads. Nope, I call tails.
All right. And then, I mean, the rest of them are pretty much up in the air. I mean, who will win? They're all 50-50 chances. But that's all your stuff for the, of course, for the coin toss. Now, I just want to make sure you did write down the who's going to score first and how thing, right?
Yes, I just put first score and play. I have Panthers TD, and you as a Broncos field goal.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. So on to the next one. This is more of a post-game kind of thing. But in terms of the color of Gatorade, one of the most popular bets in Vegas. Your choices: orange, blue, clear being water, yellow, red, green, and purple. Are all your choices. Orange is the favorite.
Yeah.
Blue is a distant second. Clear is a distant third.
Red's not second. That's kind of surprising.
Well, put it this way: orange is plus 125. Red is plus 600. So pretty decent spread there. Red is third from last. So, I mean, I'm like you. I feel like red would be more popular, but orange and I would think yellow. That's just me. Yellow being my favorite kind of Gatorade.
Yeah, see, this is what I told you last week. I should have went back and watched some game film. I should have done my scouting, especially when they won the NFC South clincher for the Panthers, and the NFC Championship game. I'm pretty sure Ron Rivera got at least a little bit of a douse in both games. So I should have went back and done my research on that, but I did not. But I am going to take the wild card and take red.
Wow, that's a thing. And just to let you know, from the time that this has been being kept track of, water is the leader by 1 over orange, and then it goes yellow and purple are tied, and blue is at 1. So red, in terms of these stats being kept, red has never been used in a Super Bowl.
Ooh. Okay.
Again, these are the stats from when these have been being kept.
We're not betting on that one. I don't like my chances.
All right. Here's another fun one that I thought would be pretty fun to look at in terms of how the game plays out. Will depend on how this in terms of who will win this, but the odds to win the MVP. Okay. Clearly, your favorites are Cam Newton and Peyton Manning.
Yep. Even if they don't deserve it, I think one of them will win it. If
Absolutely.
they even put up decent numbers.
Yeah, your third favorite to win after them is Luke Kuechly.
Really?
Absolutely. And then your fourth favorite, which I think you're going to love this.
Graham Gano?
Oh, no, Ted Ginn Jr.
Okay.
But, hey, look, you're right by saying Graham Gano, because the long shot favorite, and this is who, if you're wanting to win big money, put it this way: if you bet $100, you would win almost $6,000 betting on this guy. Okay, just because he was so steady and did not miss a single field goal between the Panthers and the Patriots. Brandon McManus for the Broncos. He is the long shot favorite to win the MVP. If it comes down to where the Broncos are playing defense like they have against the Steelers and the Patriots, to where no one was getting by.
It might be a kicker's game. It might be.
It may be. And if it comes down to Gano and McManus, I'm sorry, I'm taking McManus. But if you had to pick,
what?
I'm just saying, he's a better kicker.
Graham Gano, don't you know?
Get out of here. You're playing favorites.
He's been good for a long time. He's actually starting to get toward the end of his reign. Gano is. So, but
You
he's been
just
good
made
for a
my
long
point.
time.
You just made my point, by the way. You just made my point.
I did.
Yes, he's old. Moving on. If the Broncos win, they're automatic. Even if Peyton Manning goes 8 for 23 for 80 yards.
That's pretty possible stat line you got there.
Yeah, the way I don't know. He's playing in warmer weather.
I don't know. I got him like 18 for 42. I mean, he's going to be slinging it because they're not going to be able to run the ball. But
well, neither is Carolina.
They got a better opportunity to run the ball than Denver does, I believe.
All right, if you say so. But let's move a little more post game in terms of some of the more popular things that we're hearing. And now everything that we're going to say has to be mentioned on air. Okay, these are on air properties. And one that I forgot that's very morbid, but I wanted to put it out there just because you can actually put money on this, which is really sick. Earthquake. If an earthquake happens during the Super Bowl and they announce it on air, that's a prop bet. Will an earthquake take place? I think the site that I'm on doesn't say what magnitude, but right now the magnitude must be over 2.0 in a lot of other places. Chris, what do you think?
I'm going to go with the negative on this one. Because I think if they announce it, that'll get a lot of people to freak out. Because a 2.0, they're not going to be able to feel that. I can't remember my Richter scale stuff, but I think it's got to be like at least a 3.0 or a 3.5 for them to be able to audibly or physically hear or feel it or something like that. So
right, yeah, it's either 2 or 3. I forget which one, but you're exactly right, and that's exactly why that is a prop bet, especially when you're on America's most shifty fault line, unless you're in Oklahoma right now. True. I mean, absolutely, but it's kind of strange that this is something you can bet on, and this is just, I guess, a personal opinion. Why would you want to bet on that? I'm not quite sure. But there's those people out there who are looking to make a quick buck. I don't have the stats on what that would be right now in terms of if you did bet any money and win. But we'll continue on in terms of some other things here. My next one would be in terms of post game. Like you said, Peyton Manning, if he rides out into the sunset on live television,
on a Bronco,
on live television, does he say, "I'm done with football"? Does his last thing that he said to Bill Belichick, where he said, "This may be my last rodeo," does it come true?
As he said in media day or media night, opening night, whatever they're calling it now, on Monday, he's been adamant the whole week that he himself does not know yet. Now, if he goes out there and pulls an 8 for 23 with 2 picks, I almost think that would give him more motivation to come back. And it looks like the Rams are actually going to make a play for him if he wants to come back, because Denver's not going to pay him $19 million next year, which is what he's owed. So as far as an on-air announcement, I'm going to have to go a very strong no.
And to play off your point, a popular team that he was thought to maybe go to before he went to the Broncos was the Houston Texans. And again, everything's all rumor mill, but that
wouldn't be a bad fit for him, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want to play with J.J. Watt? That dude's fantastic.
You line him up at tight end like they have been all year.
Exactly. And then another one, does he shed a tear? And this must be a visible tear that you can see roll down the man's face if he, sometime after the game is over.
So we're putting a lot of pressure on the CBS cameramen is what you're saying.
They've probably never been asked to work this hard in their lives.
I mean, man, because Peyton is a very emotional guy. I mean, he'll get after his team. He'll get mad. He'll get sad. I mean, he's usually not one to hold back any emotion, but unless, if they lose, I don't think he does. If they win, there's a possibility. Excuse me. But yeah, I think if they win, that there is a possibility of him shedding a little tear.
All right. All right, then we'll move on to a few fun ones, and then we'll wrap it up, and then we'll talk about which one we're going to make a bet on, okay?
All right.
All right. So one that I feel like would be near and dear to your heart, and it's going to involve Fozzie Whitaker.
Okay.
Fozzie Whitaker, over under 5.5 passing and rushing yards for the game combined.
Total?
Total.
Like not carries, not per carry or per reception.
Total. Will he go over that mark?
Over.
I'll take the under, so write that down.
Okay. Fozzie. Over, under 5.5 total yards.
That's it. Yes. That's to give the leeway from 5 to 6, of course, but
right,
yes.
and that's a wow, that's a low number. I'm gonna go over.
I'm gonna go under, so mark that one down.
All right, I've got that one starred.
All right. Now let's see. Going back to the game, will there be a penalty for excessive celebration?
Oh, how tight does Roger Goodell want to play this?
This is true.
Because does he want the fandom of the Super Bowl? Does he want the Cam Newtons and the Josh Normans of the world to enjoy everything? Or does he want to be a complete and utter such and such to give an advantage? Not necessarily give an advantage to a certain team, but to put the respect or whatever that they might want back in the game. Yeah. So Cam's not going to get one called on him because God knows the world wouldn't explode. The Twitterverse would go crazy if somebody we got somebody else joining us here, it appears.
Yeah.
I think that absolutely if
hello gamers.
What is up, my gamer bros?
They're going to remove you.
There we go. We just got a bunch of people going crazy. But anyways, we're talking football, guys. There you go. You're more than welcome to stay, but you're gone.
No, man, they're gone, man. I have the power. I am the one in charge. This is so fun. This is the most.
We have to make notes. We have to make notes next time. We need to quit being rookies on the old podcast stuff here.
Hey, we're still okay. Anyway, continue.
All right. Cam Newton, if he scores, he will not have one called against him because do we know who the head official is going to be for this game? Can you possibly look that up by chance?
I mean, I can definitely try to find that information.
I mean, it's either going to be Ed Hockley or somebody of that nature, of high profile. I wish it was Ron Cherry, but obviously he's not in it.
Hello, gamers. It's your boy.
All right, what are these spam accounts that just keep popping up? This is stupid.
What are you talking about?
Anyways, but no. Whoever it is, if they call it on Cam Newton with all the talk that's been going on this week, they will call that particular referee a racist. But if Josh Norman does it because he's known for acting a fool, I don't think there's going to be that big of an explosion, and I think Josh Norman has one to potentially be called on him.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I really doubt they're going to call one on Cam. I don't see that. The only way I would see it happening is if basically – if basically one of the defensive players for the Panthers or the Broncos, it's going to be a defensive player.
Yeah, they're going to prance into the end zone or something, or Josh Norman will start riding his horse or whatever. But I did hear on the media night that Josh Norman was very, very respectful of Peyton Manning. He said, even if I do get a pick six, that my celebration will be subdued because of my respect for Peyton Manning. So with that said, I'm going to say no celebration penalty on anybody in the Super Bowl.
All right. And this is official on the NFL website. Referee Cleet Blakeman is your lead official.
I'd have to get a picture of that guy because the name does not ring a bell.
No, me either. So moving on. All right, because we ain't got too much time left, I don't believe. This is one of my favorite ones. Going back to post game, who will the Super Bowl MVP thank first? His team, God, the city, the coach, family, or the field, meaning anybody else.
Right.
This all plays into who wins the MVP, of course.
Yep.
You know, more than likely they're going to say team first, anybody. But there are those certain people like Cam, I feel, who would thank God first. I just feel like that's something he would do. I mean, he is a good guy.
Yeah.
Nonetheless.
And I don't know a ton about the Broncos players as far as their personalities, but this is the rundown of the Panthers. I think it is God because you have a couple of people like that. You've got Cam. I think Jonathan Stewart, potentially, if he was to have a big game, would say God. And then going to the defensive realm, if it was Thomas Davis and his cast, coming from the odds to have a great game, maybe he gets a pick or something, and Luke Kuechly, I think that's all in the old Jehovah up above there. I think they're going to point straight up on that one.
Absolutely. And also, real quick, touching on Thomas Davis, there is a spread for him in terms of how many tackles he makes, 5.5. So, over under.
That's a good number. That's a really good number.
Also, I don't know the number, but there is also a bet out there for if he even makes it out of the first quarter.
Oh, he will. He'll play the whole game unless Ron Rivera pulls him off and sends him to the locker room and chains him down or something. I mean, because the guy is literally going to scratch and claw to play. He's worked so hard to get here through 3 ACL surgeries. I mean, he's definitely going to try to do it the whole game if he can.
Absolutely. All right. Well, like I said, we're coming to the end of things. Chris, I wanted to tell you what have you written down so far? What's our 3 bets or 2 or 3 bets that we're looking at in terms of deciding before the show's over?
All right, I've got 4 jotted down here. And did we go over the Peyton Manning retirement announcement? Did we say that?
I think we did. If not, we can do it. But will Peyton Manning announce his retirement after the game? Of course, it's a yes or a no question.
And I think we may have covered it, and my mind's just ridiculously, or my memory's very short. I'm going to say no.
Okay, I did forget one that I told you that I wanted to bring up because I had some insider information because I heard him in an interview. Steph Curry. What will he be wearing? A personalized Curry jersey, Cam Newton jersey, any other Carolina jersey, or no jersey at all?
Well, it's definitely not no jersey at all.
I'm taking no jersey at all. Jot it down if you want to make this bet.
Whoa, that was a little quick. Therefore, I'm not going to write it down. What's his reasoning now that we're not going to use it?
He was on a talk show on the Mecca, talking to a certain morning show, and he did mention that he has a shirt being made for him that he plans on wearing.
Okay.
Of course, he will have his lucky shirt on. I'm not sure if that's a shirt or a jersey. So what he's having made may be underneath what we see on air. So this is going to be interesting to see whether the jersey's on, off, if it's just a T-shirt, jersey. That was going to be tough, but I'll take the no jersey bet all day.
All right, that's not bad. Now that you say that, if we're going personalized stuff, maybe it's the same dude that made the Cam Newton dab shirt with Cam and his son doing the dab.
Confirmed. Okay. It is.
Okay, so you got Steph and Cam dabbing on the same shirt. Is that what we're saying right now?
He did not release what was on the shirt. Okay.
So if it's by the same guy, which I figured it would be, you probably have a safe bet there. All right, in review, the one that's probably out there the most, that's definitely a wild card to possibly bet on, is the appearance by none other than Left Shark.
Oh, man. Left Shark is in the running for our money bet. Okay.
And then you have dabbing over under 2 mentions by the broadcast crew. The first scoring play of the game, what will it be?
Okay.
And the over-under Fozzie Whitaker yardage 5.5 total for the game.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll give you a moment to think about it. Let me touch on one last bet that has Vegas going crazy right now.
Okay.
It is the cross sport bet. Okay. This cross sport bet includes the Denver Broncos. They must win.
Okay.
Okay. They must win the Super Bowl. Peyton Manning then will retire. Okay. Moving over to the cross sport, being in this case the NBA.
Okay.
The San Antonio Spurs will win the NBA championship, and then Tim Duncan will retire.
Oh, so we're going with the old guys winning their championships and retiring. Okay.
That is correct. That is the cross bet of the season right now. It is absolutely ridiculous how popular that one is.
That is interesting. Give me the line on that if you got it.
Yeah. Let's see. Yes is plus 2,000. So it's a big margin if you bet even $100 whether they go yes or no, whether that happens. You're winning quite a bit of money depending on how that line changes between here and there. So it's looking. I mean, it's a very large spread. But here's two things you can't count out. One is the sheriff, who, for some reason, if he wins, it's because of his defense. It's not because of him.
Yep, we've made that point very, very clear.
And then the San Antonio Spurs they don't care about the regular season. So once they get to the playoffs, there's no telling what's going to happen.
Right, but then I also watched this game. Tim Duncan did not play, but the Warriors took a woodshed beating to the Spurs. So I don't think the Spurs make the finals, let alone win it all.
All right. Well, that was my favorite. That was my favorite bet that I wanted to at least talk about. Like I said, it's just one of those things that has Vegas going crazy right now. So, Chris, in terms of all those bets, I think in terms of keeping it sports related,
let's do a 2 out of 3, man. You want to do 2 out of 3 with all the game stats and throw out left shark?
All right, we'll throw out left shark.
Okay.
So I'm taking and jot this down. Jot this down.
I got you.
Okay,
Yep.
So I'm taking the Broncos to kick a field goal to score the first points.
Okay, and for that one, I am taking the Panthers touchdown. And if we're both wrong, then, that'll be a push if we split the others.
All
right, so dabbing on the broadcast, 2 over-under mentions of the dab or dabbing.
So are you going over or under?
I went under.
I'm going over.
Okay.
All right, so that one's settled.
And over under 5.5 total yards receiving and rushing for Fozzie Whitaker.
Absolutely. I'm taking the full under on that one.
I got him over. I think he's going to have a good catch out of the backfield when Jonathan Stewart needs to take a spell. I mean, I don't think his numbers are going to be huge, but I think he plays a decent factor. They might line him up at the slot and get a 10-yard catch or something. So I've got the over.
I mean, hey, all right. So real quick, if Stewart gets hurt and Fozzie Whitaker has to take over,
I win.
Okay. Oh my God. All right. That's fine.
No matter. Hey, you're taking that chance with that bet now.
This is true. Hey, so real quick, I got to cover it. Am I covering both of our tickets if I lose?
Correct.
Man, I hope Leslie doesn't watch this.
Now remember, I'm doing the same for you, man. I'm doing the same for you.
This is true. So hopefully my future wife and your wife doesn't watch this.
I don't think there's a whole lot of worry in that, to be quite honest with you.
I don't think there's any worry about anyone watching this except for the people we got trolling us, which is fantastic. This is, hey, someone knows we're here.
Apparently, I'm sure we're on the homepage of Google Hangouts on air, but nowhere in the description, I don't think it says gamers. So I guess some guys are just bored on a Wednesday evening.
trolling. I love trolling people. I do it all the time. But nonetheless, which Chris has mentioned is my favorite word. So if you hear nonetheless over and over in a
there's always a word of the week for you. Usually. Like last week it was nonetheless. This week it was absolutely, which I think is a repeat from the past. So, I mean, there's always at least a word of the week for Cody. Usually I try to diversify my vocabulary when at all possible. But I'm sure I'm guilty as well.
All right. Well, Chris, I mean, we have our best 2 out of 3 bet for the U.S. National Championships of ping pong. Everything's settled. Of course, we will keep you updated either on the next broadcast that we have or via Twitter who wins that. Needless to say, I will be very watching the Super Bowl very closely. Also, Chris, I'm going to need you to send me those just so I can keep up.
All right, I'll do it. And a little side note here. I took a trip over to Greensboro this evening, over to New Bridgebank Park, home of the Grasshoppers. Your boy might be working for the Grasshoppers this year. Who knows? Did a little interview for those guys this evening. So I would be more than happy to be a part of that great organization, having a sports management degree myself, just as a little part-time gig to maybe open some doors or make a little extra gas money. But so I'm hoping, that opportunity will go well. So y'all keep me in mind on that one.
Absolutely. So everyone, wish the best for Chris. Be watching the Super Bowl. Watch for all your prop bets. Bet money, but not crazy amounts of money because, well, let's be real. Me and Chris are already broke, so we're there.
Why do you think I'm applying for another job? No, I'm just kidding.
Why are you trying to think we're getting famous on YouTube? I don't know.
I mean, we had 27 whole views last week. I don't know what you're talking about.
Dude, we had 3 people troll us tonight, so we're famous.
I know. So that's more than we ever thought we would be. But as a reminder, everybody, you will see this in one of these little corners up here. Our Twitter handle, as always, is where we do most of our conversating on the sports dirt and whatnot. Is you can find us at CT _ sports report. That's good. But that's where we do most of our talking and chatting up everything. We'll try to post some pictures and live tweet the table tennis championships tomorrow night. That'll be a good time. And thanks, everybody, for listening. Cody, why don't you take us out, brother?
Absolutely. Again, we know nothing about ping pong. We've never played it the right way in our lives.
Whoa. Speak for yourself, my friend.
Get out of here. All right. Well, you want to play next week? Because I got a table at the clubhouse at the apartment.
Let's do it. I'm down.
Oh, my gosh. All right. That's going to be another bet that we'll come back to. But, ladies and gentlemen, we do thank you for tuning in to the CT Sports Report. My name is Cody Teague.
I am Chris Calicut.
We do thank you for joining us, and as always, have a great night.